6 signs. A person doesn't just hate you, they want you dead. Stoic philosophy. Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom today. In our journey through life, the ancient Stoics taught us to approach others with goodwill and to assume the best in people whenever possible. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But the Stoics were also pragmatic realists who understood human nature in all its complexity. They knew that while most conflicts arise from misunderstanding, there are rare but serious situations where genuine malice exists. Today, we're discussing something crucial: how to recognize when someone's animosity has crossed into truly dangerous territory. Throughout history, Stoic philosophers faced genuine threats. Seneca was forced to take his own life by Emperor Nero. Epictetus was exiled. These wise men understood that while we shouldn't live in fear, prudent awareness of real danger is sometimes necessary for survival. This isn't about paranoia or seeing enemies everywhere. That would contradict Stoic teachings about inner peace. Instead, this is about developing what the Stoics called practical wisdom, the ability to accurately assess situations and respond appropriately. So today, we're examining 6 critical signs that indicate someone may harbor intentions that go beyond mere dislike. Understanding these signals through a Stoic lens can help you maintain tranquility while taking appropriate precautions. Sign 1, escalating pattern of harm. The first sign is an escalating pattern of harm. The Stoics taught us to distinguish between isolated incidents and patterns of behavior. A person who merely dislikes you might engage in occasional pettiness or avoid your company, but someone with truly dangerous intentions shows a progression. Their actions gradually become more harmful over time. They might begin with small acts of sabotage, spreading rumors, or undermining your reputation, then escalate to more direct forms of harm, destruction of property, explicit threats, or attempts to harm your livelihood. As Epictetus advised, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In this case, embody vigilance by documenting these patterns. Notice when annoying behaviors transform into harmful ones, especially when the escalation continues despite attempts at resolution. Sign 2, calculating behavior and unusual interest in your vulnerabilities. The second sign involves calculating behavior and unusual interest in your vulnerabilities. The Stoics emphasized understanding the true nature of things, rather than their appearances. Someone who merely dislikes you might avoid learning anything about you, but someone with dangerous intent often displays unsettling curiosity about your habits, schedule, security measures, or personal vulnerabilities. They might ask probing questions about when you're alone, where you live, or details about your family. They may observe your routines or appear in places where you regularly go without logical reason. Seneca noted, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Similarly, when you notice someone showing this pattern of interest, don't react emotionally. Instead, pause and consider, why would this person need this specific information about me? Trust your instincts when something feels invasive rather than coincidental. Sign 3, bizarre calm or pleasure in your suffering. The third sign is a display of inappropriate emotional responses to your suffering. The Stoics believed in appropriate emotional responses, compassion for others, misfortunes and joy for their successes. Someone who merely dislikes you might feel satisfied by your minor setbacks, but rarely derives sustained pleasure from your genuine suffering. However, someone harboring deadly intentions often displays either unusual calm or visible pleasure when you experience serious harm. They might smile slightly when hearing about your illness, financial trouble, or personal tragedy. Or they might show a complete lack of normal human emotion when discussing potentially harmful scenarios involving you. Marcus Aurelius advised us to be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. However, when someone consistently breaks the bounds of normal human empathy, Regarding your well-being, Stoic wisdom suggests maintaining appropriate boundaries rather than endless tolerance. Sign 4. Creating isolation and destroying support systems. The fourth sign involves systematic attempts to isolate you from support systems. The Stoics valued community and understood its importance, with Marcus Aurelius noting we are made for cooperation. Someone who merely dislikes you might avoid participating in your social circle, but they rarely invest significant energy in dismantling your entire support network. A person with truly dangerous intentions often works methodically to turn others against you, spread extreme accusations, or create situations where you lose credibility with potential allies. They may work to separate you from friends, family, and colleagues through elaborate manipulation tactics. This is particularly concerning because isolation makes you more vulnerable to further harm. As Seneca wrote, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Conversely, distance yourself from those who systematically work to dismantle your beneficial relationships. Sign 5. Rehearsal behaviors and testing boundaries. The fifth sign involves rehearsal behaviors and testing your boundaries. The Stoics emphasize preparation and practice, but they applied this ethically. Someone with dangerous intentions often tests your reactions to increasingly concerning behaviors, essentially rehearsing aspects of more significant harm. They might joke about harming you to gauge reactions. They might create small emergency situations to see how you respond. They might test how close they can get to you physically, how much privacy you demand, or how you react to minor violations of consent. Epictetus taught, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. In this case, what's in your power is establishing and maintaining clear boundaries, and noting when someone repeatedly tests them despite clear communication. Epictetus taught, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. In this case, what's in your power is establishing and maintaining clear boundaries, and noting when someone repeatedly tests them despite clear communication. Sign 6. Explicitly fantasizing about your demise. The sixth and most obvious sign is when someone explicitly fantasizes about your demise. While the Stoics advocated for charity in interpreting others' actions, they also recognized the importance of taking plain speech at face value. Someone who merely dislikes you might wish for your failure or embarrassment, but someone who repeatedly speaks about your death, even disguised as humor, is sending a message that should not be ignored. They might describe scenarios of your harm in unusual detail. They might have contingency plans for your absence. They might express that the world would be better without you, or that you deserve extreme outcomes. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Take seriously those who consistently express desires for your serious harm, even when social pressure encourages dismissing such talk. Stoic response strategies. Now that we've identified these signs, how should we respond as students of Stoicism? First, remember the core Stoic principle. Focus on what you can control. You cannot control another person's intentions, but you can control your awareness, preparation, and response. Second, maintain emotional equilibrium. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Panic clouds judgment, while calm assessment leads to appropriate action. Third, seek objective verification. The Stoics valued truth above comfort. Document concerning behaviors. Consult trusted others about your observations, and consider whether your assessment is influenced by past trauma or cognitive biases. Fourth, take proportional precautions. The Stoic virtue of courage doesn't mean ignoring danger. It means facing it appropriately. This might mean limiting contact, informing authorities, enhancing security measures, or in serious cases, relocating. Finally, maintain your ethical principles. Even when dealing with someone who may wish you harm, the Stoic remains committed to virtue. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Protect yourself without becoming consumed by hatred or fear. Conclusion. The ancient Stoics lived through political purges, exile, and genuine threats to their lives. They didn't teach philosophy as a merely theoretical exercise, but as a practical approach to navigating life's real dangers, while maintaining inner tranquility. Most people you encounter, even those who dislike you, don't wish you serious harm. But Stoicism teaches us to see reality clearly, without the distortion of either excessive fear or naive optimism. By recognizing these 6 signs, escalating patterns of harm, unusual interest in your vulnerabilities, inappropriate emotional responses to your suffering, isolation tactics, boundary testing, and explicit fantasies about your demise, you exercise the Stoic virtue of wisdom. Remember that the ultimate goal isn't paranoia but prudence. As Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." True Stoic wisdom means distinguishing between ordinary conflicts and genuinely dangerous situations. If you found value in this exploration of practical Stoic wisdom, please support our channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. How has Stoic philosophy helped you navigate difficult relationships in your own life?